Unit 7. Clarify terms and define. Lesson 1. Clarify terms. This is step 1 in the PBL process. This lesson looks like. Firstly, we will give an overview of what clarifying terms means and its purpose. We'll then look at how to clarify terms in problem-based learning. Then look at the tasks of each role in clarifying terms. Overview. Einstein famously said, "If I was given 1 hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes thinking about it and 5 minutes thinking of solutions." The first 2 steps in the PBL process are concerned with understanding the problem. This unit explains each of these steps and how to complete them. This lesson looks at particularly step 1, clarifying terms. Lesson 2 will look at defining the problem, which is step 2 in the PBL process. And lesson 3 looks at the different types of tools that can be used to aid problem definition. Clarifying ambiguities and understanding why the problem exists. It can lead to the implementation of solutions which are short-term and do not address the real concerns of the problem. Clarifying terms. In the opening meeting and the first step of the PBL process, the discussion leader reads out the trigger or the problem description to all the students. The group then discuss if they understand the meaning of the trigger and if there are any terms or items that might be interpreted differently or not understood. For PBL teams which are geographically dispersed and not located in the same company, this can be done on the ICT platform, which we will demonstrate later. For example, Company X has problems with cash flow. Some months there is a shortfall and they find it difficult to pay suppliers. Other months there is no problem and there's sufficient funds to pay suppliers and other debts. It's becoming more difficult to receive overdrafts from banks due to new financial rules. And in the past 12 months, the company's overdraft has reduced by 20%. In the past year, they've had to rely on overdrafts 8 out of the 12 months. As a result of the PBL process, they would like to reduce their dependence on overdraft facilities from 8 months to 2 months. Clarifying terms. In this context, what's meant by cash flow? Cash flow can be interpreted differently. Sometimes it's interpreted as income. However, they seem to mention something about shortfall. Shortfall seems to mean the deficit between income and expenditure, i.e. there's not enough money to pay their suppliers. Therefore, in this context, cash flow seems to be a shortfall between income and expenditure. If so, what is meant by income and what's meant by expenditure in this company? Income is all the monies received into the company as a result of sales, both credit sales and cash sales. It does not include shareholder investments. Expenditure relates to all short-term costs. It does not relate to any long-term costs. Example of short-term costs might be salaries, stock, rent, light and heat. Debts are related to any monies owed on a monthly basis. These are your suppliers or rent and bank loans. This step can be relatively short depending on how complex the problem is. Tasks of each role in clarifying terms. The discussion leader asks each member of the PBL group to identify any terms they're uncertain with. This can be done on a round-robin basis. If there's a lengthy discussion about what a particular term means, the discussion leader summarises at the end of this discussion what is meant by the term in order to clarify it. Team member identifies the terms they might not understand or may be misinterpreted. The group as a whole discusses potential meanings for the terms. The recorder lists any uncertain terms and summarises what is the group consensus of the meaning of the term. And the observer identifies how each team member behaves and participates in the discussion. Again, if the PBL group are geographically dispersed, this can be done on the ICT platform. We will now demonstrate how this is done. So as you can see for our cash flow problem, we'll go to step 1, clarify terms. The main things we identified were expenditure, The main costs are rent, light and heat, stock, what is stock, and income. You can easily add terms to the ICT platform. So if you're doing it for a PBL group which are geographically dispersed, you simply set a date where everybody has to put up the terms they're uncertain about and other people respond, and the discussion leader follows up to ensure everybody has done that. So in the next lesson, we're going to look at defining the problem, which is step 2 in the PBL process.